being renovated auditorium. My name is, yeah, go ahead. My name is Mary Gillahan, and it's my pleasure to introduce some of the musicians to you and to be playing a set in this wonderful venue. I've played music here before, and it is a great place. Before I get started, though, I was telling Robbie, it's been years since I actually wrote down an introduction. Generally, I just talk from the top of my head, but there were some things that I really wanted to make sure that I remembered to share with you. And that is, I, for one, am very glad that this auditorium, which also used to be a classroom and part of the library when it was a school, is here, especially because this has been a community effort. And those of you who live in a place where the people are neighbors and form a community will know how important that is to have things done. I want to also say a big thank you to the musicians for their efforts of support in being here today. And of course, without your effort, we would not be able to have such a concert today, because even though people say, oh, I don't play anything, for players, it takes someone who loves to listen. So we appreciate that effort in you all. And last but not least, I do want to thank the people who work to run this museum and who have put their efforts into this fundraising event. Because without those efforts, a part of this culture might be lost. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you, Pam and I were talking about it, it's the original Leatherwoods band from many years ago, with some additions as Cheeky Pen. We probably want to start off with, and I hope you don't mind, Tommy, the senior member of this group, because Tommy always says,
hey, I don't know that for sure.
Oh, we know Charlie's old, but you know. Yeah. But Tommy Simmons, who was a former mayor of Mountain View, began with the Leatherwoods, he and Pam and Jean in the beginning.
Simmons family.
The Simmons family band. That's when you were just 9 years old, wasn't it, Pam?
Yes.
We knew her then, as a matter of fact. But we always loved having Tommy come out and pick. He knows all kinds of great old tunes. And since I was speaking of the second senior member of the band down there, oh, see, Joe is looking too.
Well, him by a long shot.
Okay, well then, Joe Jewell, we'll go right to you. Been around this community for a good many of years. You probably know him because he is instrumental in bringing up the young musicians of our community. He helps with the concert at the Ozark Folk Center for all the young musicians. He plays in many bands, has traveled extensively, so we're always glad to have Joe with us. And I mentioned Charlie Sandage.
You keep moving me down in days.
And Charlie Sandage, you know him as a songwriter of the Arkansas Stories. He was a former history teacher, hails from Malvern, Arkansas, had worked for AETN in his life, and we just think Charlie writes a great tune. And Dave Smith from up at Fox would be next in this Dave has been playing music for a good many years too. Started the guitar though when you were in your 20s?
Yeah, 20.
When he was 20s, but he's been at it hard and fast ever since. Plays with several groups around town. Is another one of our music roots teachers, teaching both the guitar and the fiddle out at Fox and Rural Timbo. And so he's been very instrumental in another one bringing up the young people, which are so important to this culture to keep it alive. Mr. Dave Smith.
I'm older than Pam.
Oh yeah, you are older than Pam.
I like this.
Believe it or not. Robert Gillahan, who actually is, well, hey. roots, though, is not from this county. He's from across the river. His family is a very old family, several generations back, hailing from Izard County. And Robert started playing music with his father, Red Gillahan, accompanied Red on the fiddle. And has just been playing music for a good long time, too. And is my very favorite musician. And certainly
He used to live right down that street. On the other side of the highway.
And last but not least is Pam Simmons Setzer.
The youngest.
The youngest. If you go to some kind of a fundraiser musical around this community, whether it's from the Mountain View Area Chamber of Commerce, whether it's from Caroline in the Caverns, or Cupid in the Caverns, or Celtic in the Caverns, whether it's any kind of a gathering where community comes together and supports a cause in Mountain View and Stone County, this will be the woman who has been instrumental in putting that show together and getting those musicians. Pam is just, I always said you just need to open yourself up one of those businesses where you can just do everybody's song list and consulting.
I don't think I'd make much money.
You do, yeah, that's right. But she's a great singer performer, so please make welcome Pam.
Now, my grandfather, my maternal grandfather and grandmother had a store over at Arlberg. That's in the southwest part of this county when the big depression hit. And my grandpa said all he got out of that store was his fountain pen. And he didn't have any money in the bank to write a check. So they all went out to California and started becoming what was commonly called fruit tramps. They'd go out in the spring and they'd pick prunes and apricots and then cotton in the fall and come back in winter here in Arkansas. Well, my mother's oldest brother was never one of the most industrious ones in the bunch. And he had an old guitar, and when that sun would get, about 11 o'clock out there in the San Joaquin Valley, he'd get a sick headache, and he'd go back to the tent and play his old guitar the rest of the day. He was the smartest one in the family. The rest of them stayed out there in the dark, picked that cotton. But he loved to sing old blues songs, and this is one that I learned from him. It's called Trouble in Mind. Trouble in mind, I'm so blue, but I won't be blue always. Oh, the things going down to the river.
All
people up and down the line call it the MMA, which stood to them may never arrive. Because it was always late. My dad worked on that for 20 years, and except during the Depression years, he got laid off, and we went to the farm and stayed there for about 5 years. He got called back. But I was one of those people that lived in Harrison, lived in Heber Springs, lived in Kinston, Helena. My mom and dad moved 25 times the first 20 years they were married. Because he was working by seniority, and he'd work 3 months in Heber and he'd get bumped with someone that had more seniority and wanted his job, and he'd be moving and going someplace else. I'm sure we wore boxes out that was never unpacked. We just seemed to get someplace and get on again. So I was thinking about that one evening and about his work, and that it was tough work, hard work, long hours, and so I wrote this song called My Daddy Was a Railroad Man. Well, my daddy was a railroad man. He rode the road for fame. He worked for nearly 20 years on the old M&A. The house was on the road, as it always was. Just long I left the dear son. I did go just along the line. Gotta make the time. Give us a high time.
10. I think he won something like $50,000 for that. I didn't see a penny of it. Would you please welcome one of the biggest storytellers around, Mr. Junior Falls.
When we shop together, my world's in disguise. It's a fairyland day and come true. And with your card, my dear, we could shop on and on. Even shop across Walmart. I could shop across Walmart with your credit card and view. I could shop across Walmart with you. And when we see them bargains in nearly every aisle, I could shop across Walmart with you. All my heartaches and troubles are just up and gone the moment that store comes in view. And when we see them bargains in every aisle, I could waltz across Walmart with you. I could waltz across Walmart with you in my arms, and I'd waltz across Walmart with you. And when we see them bargains in nearly every aisle, I could waltz across Walmart with I had a friend one time named J.L. Woodruff. Some of you folks knew him. He come up here at the folk center and he danced with us. He's a member of the Country Dance Society. Got me to running around with him. Got to be real good friends. We went to the shows. We went to Grubbs down in Jackson County where he lived and put on a few shows with him at the high school. And anyway, we were sitting reading the paper one day. And J.L. said, "Looky here, Junior." He said, "I'm friends with one of the richest men in the world." He said, "The richest man here in the United States." Story in the paper. And I read the paper and I said, "Well, how in the world did you get to know Sam Walton?" He said, "Well, in 1945 when he got out of the Army, he moved to Newport. Put in his first store there in Newport. And run the Ben Franklin store. He took over from the Holmes family. And he said he got to selling everything. Everybody in the county was buying from him, putting everybody else out of business. So all the other merchants come to Mr. Holmes and they said, "You've got to do something about this." And Mr. Walton is putting us all out of business and breaking everybody. He's too good at what he does. So anyway, Mr. Holmes said, "Well, we can stop him." Said he only signed a 5-year lease. And he said, I'll just tell him that we're not going to renew his lease. And so he went to him and he told him, "When your lease is up in 5 years, well, we're not going to renew your lease." Well, Mr. Walton checked around and nobody else, they'd all teamed up and nobody else would lease him anything or sell him anything in the Newport area. So he was eventually froze out of Newport. And I said, "Wait a minute, J.L. I've heard that story before." I said, "When I was at Batesville one time sitting around at Preacher Robinson's Liar's Page, the preacher himself come on and telling the story of how him and the downtown merchants had put the Walton family out of Batesville when they tried to set up Paramount at Ben Franklin's store." And I'd heard the story before. So J.L. went on and he said, "Now Mr. Holmes told him that he'd give him $50,000 for the stuff in his store and buy him a good meal if he'd promised to get out of Newport and leave them alone." So he didn't have anywhere to go, so he took the $50,000 and the dang good meal and he went to Bentonville, Arkansas. And they had a store that he could buy. He'd learned his business lesson, no more of that renting or leasing. So he found a store he could buy at Bentonville with his $50,000. And he got a lease on the store, the lot next to him for 99 years in case he wanted to expand. Well, sure enough, just like at Newport, he started selling everything, put everybody out of business up in that area. Well, he decided he'd expand again, and he just kept putting in stores. So in 1962, when he opened his first Walmart in Rogers, Arkansas, well, he just keeping expanding. The Walmarts went on and on with the Walmart stores expanding. And by 1982, he was Forbes magazine's richest man in America. And so when he died in 1992 at Little Rock, Arkansas, with a rare blood disorder, the Forbes magazine listed his worth as being $23 billion. And the word of his death went out by satellite to all 1,960 stores he owned at the time, and 380,000 employees of his death went out. Now I've heard rumors that he tried to go back to Newport and put his distribution center down there, and they still wouldn't sell him anything. I mean, they still mad at him at Newport, so he had to go to Searcy to put that in. All right, so that's the Walmart story. All right, chicken truck, chicken truck, chicken truck.
Gosh, I've known this guy for a long, long time. He lived in Stone County for a long time, and then he moved away, moved to Memphis, and we missed him a lot. We're really glad he's back here now. He's gone by several names. Actually, this guy, he does a lot of stuff. He can drill a well, and he can fix what's wrong with you. In fact, I didn't mean to show you much. No. Well, we'll get into that later. But
$135.
Yeah, see? Medical professional. He says it'll be $135 to look at. He's sometimes he goes by Lucky LaRue. Today he's just in pain because this morning he slammed a garage door on his fingers, but he's still playing. Mr. Mike McGee.
Here's another Johnny song Johnny wrote. The last of this morning. At my door the leaves are falling. A cold wild wind will come. Sweethearts walk by together, and I still miss someone. Oh, I never got over those two eyes. I see them everywhere, and I miss those arms that held me with all the love of there. I go out on the party to look for a little love, but I find the darkest morning, 'cause I still miss someone. So I never got over those two eyes. I see them everywhere,
was a nurse for animals. He worked at a veterinarian's clinic as well, and I guess animals of all kinds, right?
Yeah. He's a cat whisperer.
That's right, cat whisperer.
Cat whisperer, that's her name.
Well, I want to say a big thank you to Mary Gillihan for putting this together, because I do know what it takes to put one of these together. She asked me if I would introduce their group, which they've been together, playing together for 24 years. And they're all excellent singers and musicians. And you've already met all three of them. But together they're known as Harmony. And I always say their name fits them because they're three. If you sing, there's certain people that you go through life that you sing with and you have this great blend. And they do. And so their name fits them very well. So welcome, Harmony.
Thank you.
In these hills I was born, I thought I'd never roam, but times got hard, and I had to go away. How I miss the folks back home, and I feel so all alone, but in my heart I'm going back someday. How I love these Ozark hills. I close my eyes and see the valleys and the fields. And though I'm far away, you can always hear me say, Lord, I love these Ozark hills. Lord, I love these Ozark hills. I've traveled around from town to town, wherever work was found. Sometimes we work so hard for very little pay. It's hard to find peace of mind just to make it through each day. But in my heart I'm going back to stay. How I love these Ozark hills. Close my eyes and see the valleys and the fields. And though I'm far away, you can always hear me say, Lord, I love these Ozark hills. Lord, I love these Ozark hills. Oh, how I love these Ozark hills. Yankee Comfortable, Ron Ball.
Great honor, Art. Excellent.
Here's one written by our old friend Grandpa Jones, who many of you probably know lived here in the Ozarks back in the 1980s, in the 80s. Some 80s or other. He's old, but he wasn't that old. Great guy, funny guy. Played on the stage at the Ozark Folk Center a bunch of times. Really like that guy. This is his signature song, 8 More Miles to Louisville. 2, 3, 4. I wandered around the countryside before the Florida Fair. Been up and down, 10 coastlines, I've been most everywhere. From Portland east to Portland west, back along the line. I'm on my way to a place that's best, that old hometown of mine. 8 more miles to Louisville, coming into my view. 8 more miles on this old road, and I've never more been blue. I know someday that I'll come back and do it from the start. And I'm 8 more miles to Louisville.
To be a child of God each day. Our light must shine along the way. I'll sing His praise till the ages roll and try to help some troubled soul.
Life's evening sun.
Life's evening sun.
Will Merrick from Illinois, great songwriter, was here, and her friend Robert Boland, who's a wonderful musician as well. This is a song that she wrote, it's one of our favorites, called Bottomlands. Summertime, autumn mallards on the wing, and I knew the way to your house down the winding gravel road. Yes, I knew the way to your house with my eyes closed. And we'd walk along in the bottomland where the corn grows 8 feet high, and the sun comes up between our toes, and the sun beats down like a sunhound nose. Falls not far away, we'll walk again in the bottomland someday. Like a midnight freight through the bottomland on a track to God knows where, I took a ride on the light that was just as fast, and I landed somehow here. But the air here smells of gasoline, and I miss the cricket song. How was I to know that it would be so long? Till we'd walk along in the bottomland where the corn grows 8 feet high, and the mud comes up between our toes, and the sun beats down like it somehow knows. Falls not far away, we'll walk again in the bottomland someday. In dreams I go to the bottomland, and I feel the summer sun. I smell the weeds in the ditches, and I hear the river run. And I see you on the riverbank, and you look at me and smile. It's a dream that seems more real with every mile. And we'll walk along in the bottomland where the corn grows 8 feet high, and the mud comes up between our toes, and the sun beats down like a sunhound nose. Falls not far away, we'll walk again in the bottomland someday. In dreams I go to, oh yes I did that. I imagine a home on a river bluff overlooking the fields of green, where me and you, like we used to do, walk the levee once again. But I'm still a little restless, and I've got some dues to pay. It's a dream that'll keep me working toward the day when we'll walk again in the bottomland where the corn grows 8 feet high, and the mud comes up between our toes, and the sun beats down like it somehow knows. Falls not far away, we'll walk again in the bottomland. We'll walk again in the bottomland. We'll walk again in the bottomland someday.
him. You'll want to, of course, get up, move around, meet folks you haven't met before. That's kind of how we do it in this community. We do have some water in there, and I know that they're selling just water or they're snacks.
So, we got soda pop.
Oh, okay. Soda pops. That's good. And also during the intermission, in just a minute, I'm going to bring the president of the Mountain View Historical Society out, Mr. Dan Stewart. You're still the president. They haven't like re-elected anyone new since I've been.
They hadn't run me out yet.
Okay. It can happen, I understand. Anyhow. So this is one of Charlie Sandridge's tunes. You met him with when he played in the first set with Chinky Pin. And Robert, tell him our surprise when Charlie said that.
Yeah, he said, I've got a rock and roll tune for y'all. I went, we're a folk band. We don't do rock and roll. He said, well, yeah, but you know, this is early rock and roll, and it wasn't that much faster than what you're doing right now. And we went, well, yeah, it's still rock and roll. We don't know. And so he sang some of it. But, hey, well, that's pretty good, actually, though. So
he based it on those juke joints up and down Highway 67, which is now 167-67. And there was a group of musicians here. Tommy knows several of them, and Charlie does too. Used to go over there and actually make money on a Saturday night.
Friday
1950s, playing music. Imagine that.
Friday, Saturday night, you can make $20. Big money back then.
But there were a lot of other musicians who also played that circuit. And as a lot of musicians do, when they get together, they share their music, they swap licks. And Charlie always said,
if there's anything such as a wedding between hillbilly and soul, rhythm and blues and hillbilly, it happened in the Silver Moon Cafe in Newton, Arkansas, up on Highway 67. Take it away, Dave. Give a part of our CD sales to the museum today.
So we've got
$5 out of the CD.
We got them back there on the table, but right now I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Dan Stewart.
Mr. President.
Folks, it just don't get any better than what we've got here today. You know, Stone County is truly blessed with all the talented people that we have here. And we've got a bunch of them here today, and they've just done a great job for us, and we just really appreciate them being here. Each and every one of them. And I was like to especially thank Mary. I came to Mary, it's been 6 weeks ago or so, and said that we've just spent quite a bit of money on an air conditioner and for this room. And it turned out to be the perfect day to test it out, and I think it's fairly comfortable in here, so it's working okay. But anyway, I said, we really need to raise some money, and Mary planned this thing and set it up for us, and she's just done a wonderful job, and let's give her a really... Well, I'm not going to keep anybody very long because everybody can take a break, and this is the auditorium to the original school building here, and it's been restored. And you noticed on the sign on the door, this is the Edwin Luther Auditorium. And this is the handsome gentleman there and over here. And we're honored today to have him in the audience with us. Wave your hand at it. You know, I feel like here at the Stone County Historical Society, the work we do is important. It's important to the culture of our county. We try to preserve the history and the information that otherwise would be lost if somebody doesn't take it and preserve it. And I find new things all the time. I think this is my 3rd year as president, and I still find new treasures of information in there. Just a month or so ago, I found these books that back in the 70s, and I forgot all about it, but the school had every child in school do a family tree. And it's just so much valuable information, and every kid in there has a family tree, and I forgot about doing it, and mine's in there too. But you know, we've like I say, we've been restoring this auditorium, and we've recently got the air installed. But if anybody has ever done any restoration to an old building, there's virtually no end to. When you start one project, you find something else that needs to be done. But we've got flooring problems and different things that we're going to continue needing money for. And we just appreciate y'all supporting us today and helping us out. And I just hope you're enjoying the concert we're having. We're going to have a real quick drawing here. We've got a few things that we're going to give away. Everybody's got their ticket. If you look at your ticket, there's a number on it.
Number 31. Who's going to draw?
Who would like to do this?
Let's pick on someone. We'll just pick on the front row.
Okay.
Oh, wait. That might be mine.
Okay, we'll start out with the harmony.
Go look. Number. Oh, got 2 of them. Okay. Go for it, Dan.
121. 121.
Hey, all right. Here it is. Here, go take it here, Dan. Bob, you need runner.
I'll be the runner.
Okay. How are you, man? Give it your best.
Okay, we've got a couple of Christmas ornaments here.
Hey. Oh, that's
Of
pretty.
historic buildings in the town here in Mountain View.
What do you think that is?
That is built in 1896. It's the Stone County Democrat building. Back in the old original newspaper. One of the original newspapers.
They're there.
93.
93.
Is there a 93? Okay. Draw
Okay, here you go. Gotta go again. Your work's not done yet.
Well,
Too higher.
some of the tickets were out for
Oh, sorry.
164.
164. They're not here then? Oh, these are folks who bought tickets to support but just couldn't make it today. Oh, we like that anyway. We won't tell them we drew their name. Nothing ever gets around in this town, you know how it is.
116.
116.
116.
Going once. Going twice.
We should.
Man,
Boy.
your arm getting tired. Oh, you want to send in your partner down here? All right, buddy. They're tag teaming this drawing stuff.
Oh, that's gonna be a lucky one out there. 170? I'll just throw them out. Yeah, well,
Hey, we got one.
okay. 82. That
82.
sounds like a winner.
Number 82. Okay, I'll just take it home.
Did anybody have a ticket?
Hey, look there, right here.
Oh, he really is 80. Oh, good. Oh, great. All right. Let's see how you can do, sir. Don't peek.
I don't have any feelings in these fingers.
Oh, well, here then.
This is a Christmas order, the old Lackey House. It's where the music store is there now on the corner of the
Alrighty.
square.
Whoa!
50.
Whoa! 5-0.
50.
Lady, help him out. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you and many more.
46.
Hey, all right. There she is. All right. What else do we have?
Oh, my dog, Sheppy.
Oh, Sheppy.
Does everybody know about Sheppy, my dog Sheppy?
Sheppy.
It was a TV pilot that they filmed here in Stone County back in the 50s, I think.
Before the bootleggers?
Oh, yeah. This was back in the
I mean, before
time
the
of
filming of the bootleggers. I need to be very specific here. All right, we got it.
32.
Lucky number 32. Looky there. All right, we'll be over tonight. Make the popcorn. Go for it, lady. Don't be afraid. What do we got?
This is a gentleman that works with Jimmy Driftwood quite a bit and did some of his songs. You remember?
Sherman Lynn.
Sherman, yeah.
And we've got a couple of his CDs here.
All right, going to give away one at a time?
Yeah.
All right.
72.
72, going once.
Dean.
Back there, hey.
All right, look at there. Okay, Dean.
All right.
Okay.
You got it.
Coming around this way.
Whoa. Then we'll charge you twice for it.
114.
One between 1 and 100.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You were listening.
I know how this works.
Yes.
Whoa, drop it.
Dean.
Try it.
Dean, it's right down the edge.
94.
Lucky number 94.
Hey, right there.
Hey, there we are. All right. So, let's take about 10-minute intermission as we come to... Oh, wait. 2 restrooms. One back there, one in there.
And we got one more. We got a free membership to the store.
Oh, free membership to this girl beside me. All right. Hurry up. Okay, come on, go fast. Hurry up. And it's lucky number
76.
Hey! Afternoon's music with some more, stories from Junior. Junior, where were you raised?
Right here in Stone County all my life.
But weren't you like way out there somewhere?
Oh, down next to the river on the Guide Road.
That's what I thought. Make welcome Junior Folks and the Sanders.
As all of you can see, I brought Jim and one of the Sanders with me today. Yeah, they're great musicians, good friends. We go down to the valley every year. Last 4 years I've been down in the Rio Grande Valley. And one and Jim always goes, and they're always there. They run the jam at the Lamplighter. If any of you's ever been in the valley. So when we go down and jam with them, and Wanda and I have a monstrous time down there showing out. Yeah, boy. So anyway, one day I was down at that Lamplighter, and we was having a big time. And Wanda said, Junior, why don't we go over to that Boca Chica, where the Rio Grande runs into the Gulf of Mexico. He said, walk on that beach where all them pretty little Cheryl's is at and everything. And I said, all right, we'll do that. So we load up the next morning, and I said, now it's pretty cool over there. Let's stop at this rowboat place where they sell these used clothes. They're all over the valley if you've ever been there. So we pull in there, and Jim buys him a little vest. I mean, a real pretty little vest. It was all white and everything, had a pocket on each side. And so we get down to there, pull into the beach down there, and we get out of the car, and we had just got started. And one of them big birds come over, and he sent Jim a message that landed right on his shoulder. Yeah, it's a pretty little vest. And Wanda looked over at Jim, and she said, don't worry, Jim, said, we've got a roll of toilet paper in the car. Jim said, Wanda, that's not going to do any good. Before you can get back, that bird's going to be a quarter mile away. Jim and Wanda's going to sing his song.
Well, when are we gonna get married, get married, get married? When are we gonna get married, my sweet little boy?
I thought you went on Sunday. On Sunday. On Sunday. I thought we went on Sunday. That was it. Good.
That's just around the corner. Well, how we gonna get to the wedding, to the wedding, to the wedding? How are you gonna get to the wedding, my sweet little boy?
I thought I'd bring my hot scarf, my hot scarf, my hot scarf. I thought I'd bring my hot scarf. Because if the weather is good, it's a perfectly good hot
It's
scarf.
gonna be a little buggy. Well, why don't you bring your buggy, your buggy, your buggy? Why don't you bring your buggy, my sweet little boy?
Well, the ox won't fit in the buggy. No, the ox won't fit in the buggy. Not even if the weather's good.
Think this over, I think. Oh, I done thought about it. Well, who you gonna bring to the wedding, to the wedding, to the wedding? Who you gonna bring to the wedding, my sweet little boy?
I thought I'd bring my children, my children, my children.
It's worse all the time.
Children, that is, if the weather is good. Guess I forgot to do it.
You sure did. Well, I didn't know you had no children, no children, no children. I didn't know you had no children, Buffalo boy.
Oh, yes, I have 5 children, 5 children, 5 children. Yes, I have 5 children, 6 if the weather is good.
There ain't gonna be no wedding, no wedding. There ain't gonna be no wedding, Buffalo boy.
Well, while you were gone the other week, I went out prospecting, and I found a gold mine. It's worth $10 million. Now, what about that?
Well, when you gonna
Where's
get
everybody?
when you gonna get married, my darling Buffalo boy?
I'm telling you, Jim, my curtain mirror didn't make it today to the show.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah, well, I pulled out, I just live over here, you know, on Ridgeview, and I pulled out there, and I took a shortcut down there by Jimmy Deerfoot Parkway. Well, a man flagged me over. Yeah, I thought he was wanting directions to the folk center or something, so I pulled over. I said, what do you want, sir? He said, I'm with the immigration authorities, and I'm going to make you prove you're an American citizen. I said, well, I've lived around here all my life. I said, I mean, that's ridiculous. He said, well, you're going to have to prove it. And I said, well, the reason I look a little funny is I'm dressed to go to a show. And he said, you think that I don't live here? He said, what can you do with me if I can't prove it? He said, well, we can deport you. And I said, well, what does that mean? He said, we'll send you back where you come from. I said, Lord God, I don't want to go back to that guy on the road. I'll do anything. he said, you're going to have to prove your picture IDs. You're going to have to dig out your registration. So I started digging for him. Well, I heard him start slapping at something. He went, slow, slow. He punched me on the shoulder and he said, Mister said, what is these things flying around me here? And I said, well, they're dilly-dabbers. He said, dilly-dabbers? I never heard of such thing. What is a dilly-dabber? I said, normally they don't bother people. You see them horses over in the field? They just fly around their butts and make life miserable for them. Well, I just kept a-digging, and the guy punched me on the shoulder again, and he said, say there, mister, did you call me a horse's butt? I said, no, sir, not me, but you're not going to fool them dilly-dabbers.
We live out on top of Nod Mountain out there, and you know, moonshine is still the thing. And Jim, you know, we won't tell anybody, but he has to have a nip every once in a while. And you know, that could really upset a marriage.
Yeah, when I come home, drunk as I could be, I saw a horse in the stable where my horse ought to be. I said to my wife, my pretty little wife, explain two things to me. Whose horse is that in the stable where my horse ought to be?
You fool, you silly, drunken old fool, can't you plainly see that's nothing but a milk my baby gave to me?
I've traveled this whole world over 10,000 miles or more, but a saddle on a milk cow, I ain't never seen that before. That's when I got home, drunk as I could be. I saw a hat on the hat rack where my hat ought to be.
He's all right to say, check it out all the time.
Explain this thing to me. Whose hat is that on the hat rack where my hat ought to be? She said,
you fool, you silly, drunken old fool, can't you plainly see that's nothing but a chamber?
Never seen a chamber pot in the living room?
Yes.
We always
Buy flowers in, set them on the mantle.
And they stink. After the whole world over, 10,000 miles or more. But a J.B. Stetson chamber pot, I ain't never seen that.
They're antiques.
Yeah, we got one in our living room.
We got Whitfields.
When I come home, drunk as I could be,
Yes.
I saw a pair of pants on the floor where my pants ought to be.
You're getting too personal now.
I said to my wife, my pretty little
Got all
wife,
this got
explain
that.
this thing to me. Those pants that on the floor where my pants ought to be. She said,
You fool, you silly, drunken old fool, can't you plainly see that's nothing but a dish rag?
Ow!
Mighty day to me.
I've traveled this whole world over 10,000 miles or more, but a zipper on a dish rag.
It was a hot scrubber.
Hey, with a pot scrub, yeah.
All of us
Maybe
city
it
house
gets
people
worse,
have
too.
to have a hot scrubber.
Yeah, when I come home, drunk as I could be,
4 nights in a row.
I saw a head on the pillar
Oh, my
where my head ought to be.
Oh, goodness.
I said to my wife, my pretty little wife,
You don't get too
take
drunk
this
to
thing
upset.
to me. Whose head is that on the pillar where my head ought to be? She said,
I said,
ain't stupid.
Accusing me, you fool, you silly, drunken old fool. Can't you plainly see that's nothing but a candy cane?
I've traveled this whole world over 10,000 miles or more, but a mustache on a Capitan, I ain't never seen that.
This old tune is the first recorded tune I ever heard. When I was about 5, my dad borrowed old Vic, his brother's old brown deal, to go up there on Whiteville on work, and we went to visit his great uncle, my great uncle, his uncle Al Simmons, and he had the most marvelous machine there. You could wind it up and slide this little cylinder on there, and it would talk to you. And he had just purchased it, and he had 3 cylinders. 2 of them were satires. Uncle Josh at the county fair and Uncle Josh at the revival meeting. But it had this one old tune, and it's a typical old 1930s string band tune. It's called Shywood Mountain. This instrumental is an old fiddle tune. It's a variant of Sally Ann, I think, but it's a local tune. It's called Sugar Hill, and I learned Mr. Glenn Shane some 30 years ago. It's a neat old tune.
particular one was made right here at the Dulcimer shop. And Mike McGee said, of course it is left-handed, I play backwards, I can't help it. Still doing it. Here's an old tune called Bonaparte's Retreat.
You know, it's funny, when she first got her first dulcimer, her mom was trying to teach her to play right-handed, and she just couldn't get it. Finally, they got one made for her left-handed, and she picked it right over.
There's a dark and troubled side of life. There's a bright and a sunny side too. Only beneath the darkness is bright. The sunny side we also make do. Keep on sunny side, always on sunny side. Keep on sunny side of life. In my house every day, the bright light.
raft timber from Cotter down past Mountain View, and actually right where I live now. I started out on the bluffs of the White River as a young boy, down in Oak Blaze, Arkansas, on a French trading post in the old days, in the 1700s. And we lived about 50 feet from the bluff bank. And now that I'm in my 30s, I'm back up here and living on the bluff and looking down on the White River again. I can't look at the river and not think about my grandpa. And when I was 11 years old, he pulled me into the kitchen there in Oak Blaze. He said, "Son, you think a man can go to heaven if he kills somebody?" And I said, "Well, sure he can, Grandpa." And he told me a story about when he was a child, how he was taunted by a bully, and he went home and got his rifle and followed this boy up to the general store, pulled a bead on him, pulled a hammer back, pulled the trigger, and an old man leaned forward, and he shot the old man in the head, and he killed him instead. So I wrote a song about that called Grandpa's Lament. Well, it doesn't really matter when the devil takes your hand. The other road you're bound to follow, bound to be his man. Just like my old grandpa, he was just a kid. You could shoot a man to death and live forever with what you did. He was haunted by a bully till at his wit's end. He formed himself a plan full of murder and sin. He picked up his rifle, jacked a shell into the chamber, and he pulled back the hammer and let go of his anger. Well, he found him sitting there on the old door porch as he took his deadly aim and fate took its course. The old man leaned forward as the bullet began to fly, not knowing that today was his time to die. Grandpa missed his mark. He meant to kill another, but the devil was there that day, and he always gets his brother. The old man leaned forward, maybe to tie his shoe, as the lead flew through his brain, blackened out his view. Grandpa told me this story when I was just 11, and he was crying all the while, wondering if he could go to heaven. He said, "Son, it doesn't matter when the devil takes your hand. The other road is bound to follow, you're bound to be his man. Please don't be like me when I was just a kid, and shoot a man to death and live forever with what you did." He made his living on the river, on the White River. He was a mussel shell digger and a fisherman. His name was Marshall Elliott.
Right, and I have at the Ozark Folk Center, I do a program about pearling and shelling on the White River, and Mike's brother David gave me a handmade crows, which was used to get the mussels out of the deep water. That was made by Marshall McGee. I'm glad to have that in my possession.
All right, we're going to step it up and go now. All right. Well, me and my baby walked down the street, telling everybody what cheap believe. gotta step it up, I said step it up and go.
Never happened. We're going to get Harmony to come back out here. Don't you like their harmony? So, here they are. Harmony.
Thanks, Pam. They got the list on good, you got the list, I like that.
Here's another one that Charlie Sanders wrote. It's basically about the beginning of this country, really, in this part of it. After Thomas Jefferson purchased the Louisiana Purchase, they had no idea where it was, so they had to survey it all off and find out where it was. And they started off in a place over by Brinkley and went from there to better countries. As Dave always says, they started in the worst part over in the swamp. This is one called Starting Here. From the hot and healing springs to where the eagle spreads his wings, there's land enough to build a dream upon. Red and white are on the move, farms to settle, claims to brew, mark a starting place and we will carry on. Starting here, we will measure all our prairies. Starting here, we'll take stock of all our hills, from the marshes to the mighty Teton Mountains. Chain by chain we'll mark our features. Starting here, lay your line both north and west across this swampy wilderness, from Quapaw land to where Lakota roams. Wheels will turn and time will tell where tribe and settlers finally dwell, but for millions yet to come this will be home. Starting here, we will measure all our prairies. Starting here, we'll take stock of all our hills, from the marshes to the mighty Teton Mountains. Chain by chain we'll mark our features. Starting here. Twice 100 years have run, but the story's just begun. That started when you laid your barking stone. The limestone springs still run, prairies reach for the sun, and the dreams we started with are still have grown. Starting here, we will measure all our prairies. Starting here, we'll take stock of all our hills, from the marshes to the mighty Teton Mountains. Chain by chain we'll mark our features. Starting here. Yes, chain by chain we'll mark our features. Starting here.
Gentlemen, we always liken to you, Charlie Sanders. We say, Charlie, if you want to know something about different stories and history of the state of Arkansas, some of the unknown things that aren't the big historical events in Arkansas, you would ask Charlie. Sandy, do you think? Big title we gave you there, Charlie.
And I can always make something up.
Exactly. But if you go to Missouri, the gentleman who used to be around there, now he's gone on, had the name Bob Dyer. He was the gentleman who knew all the stories, little small ones, about the state of Missouri, and was also a great songwriter. This is his tune called On a Day Like Today.
On a day like today, in the heat of this late summer weather, there's a haze in the trees and the sound of the bees and the clover. There's a hawk in the sky and a shine on the bright rivers of water, and I feel deep inside something wanting to stay here forever.
On a day like today, in the last golden days of October, with chill in the air and the light haze of frost on the clover. There's a fire in the trees and the sound on the breeze like a whisper. And I feel deep inside something wanting to stay here forever. But the seasons keep changing.
With a light from the moon making stars on the snow or the river, I sit down by the fire in the heat of its slow dying ember, and I feel deep inside something wanting to stay here forever. But the seasons keep changing.
It's a morning in spring and the dew on the jewel weeds still glisten, and I almost can hear new life being born as I listen. I walk down by the spring and I drink from its clear flowing water, and I feel deep inside something wanting to stay here forever.
Seasons keep changing, and the days just keep running away. And forever's a gift, you're forever giving away. And forever's a gift, you're forever giving away.
That's right. Another crow song. Y'all can help us out on this. All you have to do is go, ah, ah. Everybody can do that.
Is that a corn crow or a...
It's just a crow. All right.
I want to know which species I was doing.
Told one story. The crow told me. Listen, I'll sing you a song. It's not very funny, but it won't last long. All about a crow in a hickory tree. Same old tale that a crow told me. Same old tale that a crow told me. In a hickory tree. I bought me a set of union underwear to keep me from the damp and the chilly air. I wore it 6 months without exaggeration, and I couldn't get it off because I lost the combination. She might pass away. I bought her a girdle at the dry goods store. She's in better shape now this year than was before. Same old tale that a crow told me. In a hickory tree.
Wonderful collection, we think, of Arkansas story songs. And this particular one, you want to talk a little bit about Ollie and Emma?
Well, It is a story about three ladies who became known as folk singers. If you're, of a certain age, you'll remember at least two of them around here. Almeda Riddle and Allie Gilbert. And some of you may be related to one at least of those ladies. And the third one was Emma Dusenberry, who started out in Georgia and wound up over near Mena. And all three of them were recognized at one time or another in the folk music circles and sort of had a measure of fame, singing at Newport Folk Festival and concerts at Ivy League universities and those kinds of things. And for the melody on this one, I went to something out of the Sacred Heart tradition. At least that's where I learned it. An old tune that's been around literally centuries in England and whatnot. It circulated for the first time over here in the colonies as the melody to a broadside ballad called Captain Kidd. But a lot of us would know it in a sacred music repertoire as the melody to What Wondrous Love. And so I took the stories of these ladies and put them to that melody.
From Georgia. Can you pitch it just a tad higher, G sharp or don't want to get too high for your part. From northern Georgia hills, Emma sang, to Arkansas and cotton fields, she sang on. Even when her sight was gone, kings and bandits still lived on. In the pictures of her songs, Emma sang, where the pines were cut and sawn, she sang on. Hear the hymns, hear fiddles too, Almeda sang, see the shapes her father drew, she sang on. See the deed the storm had done, took her man and last born son. One life gone and one begun, Almeda sang, till her time on earth had run, she sang on. Now if you knocked upon her door, Ollie sang, her mother's songs and hundreds more, she sang on. Are you family, are you friend, are you stranger? Welcome in. Banjo tunes and tales begin. Ollie sang, you journeyed far and home again, while she sang.